Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So, such a pleasure to be here. Very grateful to the Heritage Foundation. And we are definitely now into the first steps of a true transition to democracy that will have not only immense impact in the lives of all Venezuelans, those who stayed in our country, those who have been forced to flee around the world, but that will have immense impact in the region, in our hemisphere, and I will say even further in the whole world. Because what we have proven is that a people determined to be free, even without resources, without money, without the free press supporting, even facing the most cruel tyranny, can prevail, because the force of conviction and the force of love is the strongest of all.
Oh, I see. Sorry. Thank you. Maria Corina, would like to ask you about...
Sí, porque esto depende de lo que yo dije y que además lo he dicho públicamente, voy a decirles que por supuesto que insistí en mi deseo de regresar a Venezuela lo antes posible. Y lo voy a hacer. Voy a regresar a Venezuela lo antes posible. Y evidentemente fue un tema que discutimos y todo lo que ello implica. Pero no soy solo yo. Son millones de venezolanos, otros compañeros, líderes políticos de otros partidos que también quieren hacerlo.
Have been released so far. I mean, it's less than 10%, and I was wondering if he's aware of...
Hay que vivir esto para valorar la libertad. Y la verdad es que si hay algo que yo tengo que hacer es darle las gracias y pedirle perdón a mi familia, porque hay que ver lo que esta experiencia les ha traído, ¿no? A todos, a las familias de todos los que estamos involucrados en esta causa, ¿no? No es solo la mía. Yo hablaba ayer con la madre de un muchacho que liberaron y la verdad es que es admirable. Y cuando he hablado con cada uno de los presos liberados, es tanta la admiración, porque los que me dicen es, lo volvería a hacer, María Corina. Antes de saludarme, lo primero que me dicen, quiero que sepas, lo volvería a hacer. Y después, te adoro, te quiero, no sé cuánto me muero por verte. Pero lo primero es, quiero que sepas, lo volvería a hacer. Yes. And he understands the moment and the implication for I would say the whole hemisphere. We talked, and I would say this, I know you can imagine that about other countries, and specifically about Cuba and the implications of a transition to democracy in Venezuela, what would mean to Cuba. And I insisted in something I've said many times.
2 horas que sostuvo Delcy Rodríguez con el presidente de la CIA el día de ayer.
And I want to insist on this. Delcy Rodríguez, yes, she's a communist. She's the main ally and representation of the Russian regime, the Chinese and the Iranians. But that's not the Venezuelan people, and that's not the armed forces as well. So I am profoundly, profoundly confident that we will have an orderly transition. This is a complex phase we are right now. Some of the dirty work is being done by them. But then the result of a stable transition will be a proud Venezuela who is going to be the best ally the United States has ever had in the Americas.
Interno, ¿cómo te sentiste tratada y recibida? Porque creo que ese ha sido un punto...
This has nothing to do with a tension or decision between Delcy Rodríguez and myself. This is about the cartel and justice. This is about a criminal structure that is the regime and the mandate of the Venezuelan people.
Quería que nos dijeras lo que se pueda revelar de la reunión con el presidente Donald Trump, por ejemplo.
So this is a process that has several phases. We are in one that it's complex, as I said, in which the regime is forced to dismantle themselves some of the structures that have been maintaining them in power, starting with the repression system that requires not only that all political prisoners are liberated, but that they are free. The fact that you are not in a prison doesn't mean that you are free.
To stay, we stay. Paolo Mastrolli from La Repubblica, please.
I have to remember that in the last election, presidential election, where our president-elect Edmundo González won, nearly 40% of Venezuelans that have a right to vote couldn't do it because the regime wouldn't allow them. That's one of the main things we need to correct. Every single Venezuelan living in Venezuela or abroad should have the right to vote as soon as possible. So I think it is clearly in the best interest of the United States and those that are concerned about migration to have a transition take place as soon as possible, because you will see millions coming back home.
The Washington Post, okay. Then let's go with Carla Angola, please. She's right next to you.